Guys, I became debt-free driving for DoorDash, and it's been great. I'm my own boss, and I'm in
Mr. Peters just sent out another email about that and put it in the weekly newsletter. Let's get camp, I mean, it's been a while. Let's get it done. Let's see. I think hey, what do you got for me?
Well, we have the interfaith retreat.
Yeah, so what is it, the 8th and the 10th of
December 8th through 10th.
And so we're trying to reach out, hopefully Louisiana, all the councils in Louisiana come together and, with the retreat. I know anybody that we need a cooking crew, so if you have someone that can help, I talked to Chad, so Chad will let me know, so hopefully he'll lead it for us. But just, same thing like Jason saying, just need people to start registering and, hopefully we get a lot of people coming to that event also.
Right, and if anybody wants to reach out to us and tell us their hesitation with it, we'd be more than open to hear, what's going on.
All faith is coming together, faith and scouting, so.
And it hasn't been done in what?
Oh, a long time. So we pull this off, the Strumeri Council, we're looking good with this, because we cross the country if they never had this like this. So hopefully we have all council support and we can pull it off.
Right. Anybody else have anything for me? Questions, concerns?
When is the interfaith retreat?
December 8th through 10th.
8th through 10th.
December.
You can register by December 5th.
Yeah.
And it's $25 a ticket.
$25.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen part of the program. I think it looks really
It's going to be exciting
I
stuff.
think, if I can weasel a day off, I'll be up there as well. If not, I'll be up there sometime during the time.
I did talk. Where is it located?
It's going to be
I did talk to Red about the FAMCAM regarding Scouts BSA units that were going up there to help.
Right.
He says as long as they're providing their own food, there'll be no charge.
Right, absolutely. And that's kind of the normal thing. I know that we've reached out to OA as well, and get it all moving. Anything else? You got Jeremy? Okay. Commissioners, that'd be Keith.
So Jason and I got together a couple of weeks ago, maybe even less, and went through, got a list of people and units, and tried to divide up what makes sense geographically. Though we tried to be thoughtful of people with other jobs and did not ask them to add one more. Steve, I'm sorry. Your list just didn't fit some of those. So I'm sorry, but it was finally when we get down to, Steve will do anything we ask. Okay.
Just about.
So I'm sorry you ended up kind of as the catch-all. I think on our big list we had a couple of people, and none of them are here, that we actually need to get registered as commissioners, and I will work on that next couple of days. We got a couple of them paperwork in the office straightened out. The concept was we did our best to, again, geography and just a whole chartered org. A lot of the thought being, let's make it convenient. A lot of them meet the same nights. That would be more convenient for you. And rather than try to stick with, okay, you have experience in Scouts BSA, let's put you in Scouts BSA. Let's try to broaden all of us, and because the honest truth is most of us, here and committed, it's been a while since we've been in Cubs, so we can use a refresher. This will help us all get that way. So I'll start to pull that down and send that out, and we'll set up some basic ideas for things we want to see. We'll have recharter end of the year that we'll want to be talking about. Stephen and I have talked about some plans of, if we're already talking and, connecting with some units, then we've got the ability to talk about some trainings, push NYLT, push Wood Badge, push IOLSs, and more than push, help them understand why it's beneficial. That's the real key.
Yeah.
So work on that. We've got, in these events that we've mentioned, we've got the opportunity to easily touch a lot of people. We go to fam camp, and our hope is we're going to have 30 or 40 units there. Being able to grab any of them, and as we've talked about as a whole, crossing district boundaries, doesn't matter.
We have to pool. We're at the point where we need to pool our resources.
Right. So if we talk to a North Shore unit and we get them involved, then that's what we did, and we've helped the program. So a lot of just, hey, let's talk to everybody we can. Winter camp, we've got that opportunity. There's another OA ordeal, the religious, which I think may end up on the same weekend.
I think it's the same week.
Which is fine, they don't really, but all these chances, we have opportunities that a couple of us can show up and
be present.
Easily make a lot of contacts. So I think just keeping those in mind and working toward that, we'll get the specifics. I've got key 3 contacts for everybody, so we'll be able to reach out those ways and start to find things, and just work the plan to regularly talk to them, be their friends, and help guide them in ways we can help guide them.
Super, thank you, Keith. Membership is Mr. John Black. He is not feeling well, so I'm going to fill in for him. As everybody can read on the page, we got 603 as far as Cub Scouts, USA 421 Veteran 10 Explorers, so it's 1,100 total. We're looking for what, 4% increase over the next year? So that's not asking a lot, yes.
How much of those 603 youth are new recruits for this year?
I know 12 guaranteed.
12 are guaranteed, I know. And I'm not even sure if they're even included in this 603.
Yeah, it might not be included.
So
I didn't do it like that. I think we probably right at so far, right at 100, about right now.
Where are we at with the geo prep? Did that ever take off? I know we had
Yeah.
interest, but I didn't know if we'd gotten leaders or.
No, the biggest thing with geo prep, what we gotta do is, especially with the 5th grade, is we started it. The biggest when they get 5th grade is somewhere else they can go. I think that's the biggest. Also, we probably can do is if a pack that wanna take some of the youth, we can do some of that.
Let me talk to Pac 478 and see. I know they're really starting growing, but at this point.
I gave, 7, 8, I gave them, we did set up the table. I gave them a list of kids and parents. So I know Kemp is, I don't know his first name, but I know Kemp is Steve Kemp. Steve Kemp have the list. He's reaching out to them, and we'll see what happens.
So just to give you all an update on that, Steve Kemp is having to step down as Scoutmaster. As Cubmaster, but we already got a replacement. But his work was just too much with the state police right now and the election year and everything else. So we have another Cubmaster that's stepping in. I'll reach out to him.
Yeah,
I think Steve is still kind of running things a little behind the scenes, helping out when he can.
Right.
Well, I'll reach out to the PAC and see if they got that.
Yeah, let me know who it is, because I know I've been reaching. I know the last time I reached, he didn't say anything, because I was checking on the list, and that was it. So let me know what I can do to help.
And then Scouts PSA is 421. That's only down from 1 from last year, which was probably my son that just went to Louisiana Tech. So You know, we still need to find resources. I've been contacted by several parents that are interested in scouting, but their children are, you know, not old enough yet to be in scouting. So, for me, it was kind of confusing because they got to be 11 to go into scouting, but if they were, you know, Arrow of Light, you know, it's 10 and a half. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I don't want to wait on them. You know, so, you know, what can we do to get them involved?
If they're 10 and a half and Arrow Light.
Yeah, they
They're Scout BSA qualified.
right, but these kids were in Cub Scouts, got bored with it.
Oh, so they're not Arrow Light 10 and a half. They're just 10 and a half.
Right, and it's a family of 4 boys.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, I gave them everybody's number. They're in Ascension Parish. And so I gave them everybody's number to reach out, you know, see what we could do about that. But, you know, I've been confronted with a lot of people that are in the same boat that are looking for troops. So.
Can we, some of the troops, like one of the things we were looking at doing with 478 and packing the Cubs, we have a couple of kids that are of that age, same kind of scenario. What we were looking at doing was actually, I believe at that age, we was 2 Arrow of Light. We actually were looking at bringing them into the troop meeting, and myself was going to break off and work with them on the side, so they're still kind of getting to interact with the troop, getting to see what a troop looks like with the boy led, and working on getting them through Arrow of Light.
But these are kids that have been out, that want to come back in as scouts,
Okay.
but they're not old. So, you know, we can't, I mean, they're 10, they're not even 10 and a half, so it's like, you can't, without them being registered, you can't run for your troop, you know, or anything like that.
No, we're talking about registering with Cub Pack, but letting them meet with the troop.
Right, so,
It's basically kind of like a remediation course.
Right.
Think of it as like a remedial scout program where we're working with them, we're pushing them through and getting them the requirements to make Arrow of Light, and Weevils 2, they're done, but they're still intertwined with the troop, because at that age, from my understanding, they could actually attend Boy Scout and troop events.
Right.
So they kind of get the best of both worlds.
right. So, Explorers 66, we were talking about, you know, reaching out to Denham Springs. I think it was the last time Mr. Lavin was working on Denham.
Yeah, that's all.
Getting that going.
Reach out, I know, Ascension Boys.
Oh, you the sheriff's department?
The sheriff, all
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so you're working on talking to them about doing Explore folks? Okay, it's a good time because it's an election year.
That's right.
So, you know, we only need a modest increase, but in reality, we need a huge increase as far as Cub Scouts. All of our lifeblood is really Cub Scouts. You know, it's rare to have people reach out to us and say, hey, my kids want to join scouting, you know, as 11. So that's all very optimistic stuff. And, you know, again, you know, we'll find ways to get them in there. Mr. Peter Davison on training.
Youth protection training, we're at 98.9%. Good news, we have 0 leaders that have not taken youth protection. We do have 20 that have expired, so we have to get them, we'll have to get them to get re-up on their training. But 20 people, and we'll be at 100%. Overall training, we're at 53.7%. That's across the board. Hazardous weather seems to be one that when it expires.
Yeah, like I just told you, my hazardous weather is up, so.
There's no notification like youth protection that you've expired. And that's something we'll have to work on, getting those people notified so they can
Right.
to be back for training. If you want to get trained, you can do, all your Cub training can be done online. If you want, there's a Cub position specific training, Zoom, on October 5th. But you can go on anytime and do it online. The Boy Scout position specific training training. You can do it via Zoom on November 26th, or you do it online. There's a Blue training September 30th through October 1st at Menfest. It's a $45 cost for that. You take Blue or you take IOLS. IOLS is required for Scoutmasters and Assistant Scoutmasters to be considered trained.
And so the more we get these people out, the more people we have available for Woodfin. So, just to bring that home a little bit.
Wood Badge is coming up February 23rd through 25th, but for the first weekend, second weekend, March 9th through 10th. If you register between now and Christmas, it's $235. But you have to be trained for your position.
Right, you gotta be union specific trained. I think we covered activities, recruitment. I think we kind of spoke on that.
One other thing for recruitment is they need help from the unit commissioners, and I'll reach out to whatever units. Some have done recruitment, haven't turned in the applications. Still working on a lot of other units helping them with recruitment. Big thing, we going to schools that we had went to last year, so that should help us. So when I reach out, if you can try to touch the units and see what they have. Some of them still holding
like
it.
training and recruitment,
Right.
a lot of that can be carried through the commission.
Right. So we just need any help they need, and we'll turn in applications.
Rob, how you doing in Ascension? Have you had any luck? Do we need help? We need to help you in Ascension as far
As recruiting, we are having our second chance this coming up Sunday. I think having it on Labor Day week reduced the amount of people to attend.
Yeah, probably.
We try to do it as early as possible.
But are you finding yourself in schools now?
Yeah, I have no problem getting into schools.
Okay, good deal.
You just go, you talk to your principal, you get in, I don't worry about this.
Good deal. Good job. Good to know, because that's been our hold up
But it's much
for a long time.
Rob's right, because I know I had no problem going to 3 tomorrow in Ascension. So
Good deal. Doing scout talks in Ascension?
No, these just go and try to see what let me see what unit it is. 69. Type 69. I think it's Gonzalez. Pecan Grove.
Oak Grove.
No, Oak Grove is 249.
It's 249.
No, not Oak Grove. Pecan something.
There's a
Pecan Grove?
There's a pecan out there, I'm sure.
It's Pecan Grove. It ain't Oak Grove, but that's right by the church, right?
Right, Oak Grove's right by the church.
It's Pecan Grove and CW something.
Carver.
Yes, number 3 for 69.
Alrighty, let's see. Open this popcorn sales. Show and sale pickup is September 29th.
That group contractor.
Yeah, a group contractor, and that's on Jefferson Highway, Baton Rouge. Cub Scout fam camp, or Cub Haunted Camp, 27th through the 29th. We touched on that. Let's get people. Let's have fun. Winter camp, December 20th through the 30th. We reiterated that. We touched on interfaith retreat. Anything else we need to do for fall recruitment?
No, it's just keep going.
And then open positions, I still have outdoor program. I still need somebody for, and I need finance. Keith, you need to.
I was told about the website, to get my name put on there for the shooting sports. Whoever manages the website, someone just has to put my contact information in there.
That would be Margaret, huh?
Yeah, so shooting sports.
Correct.
Okay. So we still have those still available, and we still need commissioners, don't we, Keith?
We can always use more
Yeah,
commissioners.
we all. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes the load easier.
You're right.
you know, ideally, we would have, we've got 42 units, you know, that's probably 27 chartered orgs. Ideally, we got 27, we could say one person, one chartered org, 2-3 units. That's all.
And then we could bring it, we could have a new member.
Yeah.
You know, commissioner, and a member commissioner could work with training, work with recruitment and all that. So, you know, there's always opportunities available to anybody that wants to step up and take a position, feels comfortable taking a position, wants to take a position. We're all gonna work together. We're all gonna work together real hard to get this done. We just need people, and people are the key to this program. And I know we all take a lot of time to be with our home units, and you know, whatever time you can spare to give us as far as, you know, district would be greatly appreciated. So, all right, y'all, thank you so much. That pretty much concludes what I had. If you have any questions, we can take questions. If not, we can take a break, and then Keith will come up with our roundtable. Yes, sir.
Don't forget, the OA is offering us a couple of good service opportunities. One coming up this coming weekend and one coming up early in November.
Okay, and those are both at Avondale?
They're both at Avondale.
Okay, good deal. Anybody else? Question, concerns, help? You need help with anything? Anything we can point you in the direction to? All right, well, that's a 5-minute break, yeah. I'll give Keith time to set up.
everywhere else.
Oh, sweet. We got it on the big screen. And I will get the heck out of the way of that.
You want to introduce it and everything?
Now, where did I lose the actual gun? This topic came up from, it was a conversation that I don't even know how we got into it, but at some point just talking to you, Jason and I got into a conversation 4 or 5 weeks ago about being, that as unit leaders, we're a lot more than just seeing them on meeting night at a camping. We really, for a lot of these kids, we may be their only male role model. We may be, they may have some males in their life, but we may be their role models, BSA from when a lot of us were in it as kids. The Scoutmaster has gone then from being sort of an authority. Authoritative figure to more of a friend. So we've done things like, now you have a Scoutmaster conference. The point of that is not, there's no pass or fail. It's a conversation to be involved in these kids' lives and make sure everything, as well as we can, make sure things are okay at home, things are okay at school, that we have a chance to give them some guidance where they may not have that. And I know those of us who've been doing it for a while, it happens all the time in ways you would never expect. Steve, I know you've had 100 of these conversations that's happened of, I had no idea. Is there any way I can help you? And even if it's just talking about it, it helps. So we somehow got on the very specific topic of teenage suicide, which is, I think now the figure, and it says somewhere, and I think, reading lately, like teenage suicide has passed automobile accidents in the #1 reason for teenage death. And that's wild. The automobile thing, there's some things we can do. So here's the opportunity that we can do a lot more. So we talked about that. Jason, was very close to a young person in his troop last year. In helping with NYLT this year, we had a young man there who had attempted the week before. And there was a lot of things that happened out of it, and unfortunately, for real reasons, he was unable to stay the whole course. But his ability to, at least be involved a couple of days and then come back later in the course, and this extraordinary young man stands up in front of the group and admits all of this and says, I know I'm struggling. My being here makes all the difference in the world. Coming back means the world to me. I can't tell all of you how important this is. So, we definitely can make a difference. So then, we talk about this for a while, and like 3 days later, we get the monthly email from, volunteer newsletter from Scouting saying, we've come up with a video for this. September is Suicide Prevention Month. It's like, oh my gosh, this is just lined up. It's like, man, this is a roundtable topic. So I thought, if there's no objection, it's a pretty short video. I think it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes long. We can bounce through it. We don't have to watch the whole thing. But I felt like if we spend the time to go through it, there's an admin guide that goes along with it that gives you some ideas of how to approach it as a leader and do it, show the video. It's from what they describe, it's generally meant for older kids. So I think it's something you want to, be very careful about who you're including. But I felt like if, we kind of run through the admin guide, run through the video, and, then talk a little bit about the debrief, and it gives us a really good opportunity to figure out whether we want to involve this in our units or not, but at least get some of the ideas of things to watch out for. And I also found, as I started looking last week, just to cover, the material, I found several other fairly short guides from, I think it's the Federal National Institute of Mental Health or something, that are just, some kind of nice little block things of, little things to look out for. So all of this stuff, we're willing to share with everybody, however we want to do it. If we think it's a good idea to, I'm a little, Facebook, it's probably not a thing, but it might be. That's my opinion. You guys, I'd love to hear further opinions. If it's something we think we should offer to a unit. I think there's a few of us who would have zero issue with going out to a unit and doing this. And, being a help in any way, commissioner, not commissioner, whatever it is. Our ultimate goal is helping these youth become adults, and if they don't become an adult, that's pretty final. So, any questions so far? Any thoughts, concerns? If there's some concerns that you see with how this is presented with our experience, let's talk about them and say, yeah, that's not something I think we should do. That's all great. There's no right or wrong. It's a discussion. So actually, they're saying in the guide, it's the second leading cause for Americans teenagers, accidents first, homicide third. There's the discussion that they really don't want to die. They want their pain and suffering to end, and those are different. So, there's some things, and, they go into, there's treatment. So here, that you introduce the video, they give you some names, sort of a quick little introduction of, this is a young lady that's showing signs of problems, and it kind of adds up. One of her friends recognizes, and, so it's a great, I'll give back to a 2019 NYLT exam. The truly amazing thing out of that course that I saw was there was a young lady who had, in my opinion, after I looked at the whole picture, had been behaved inappropriately toward for a long period of time by the people around her. The fact that 2 days in, she's gotten a comfort level with other youth in the program that she can admit that and allow us as the leaders to really explore that. We had to do some things we necessarily didn't want to do, but in the end, just that one youth mentoring, recognizing and mentoring another one, and helping have the courage to bring it to the right adults who could then follow through the whole thing was just amazing. Unpleasant topic, not a thing we wanted to do, but the whole thing of being able to recognize a problem that no one around this young lady did, that, you know, there's a problem here. It's a cultural problem in your small group. Anyway, so video, and if this gets terrible, we can skip it.
I know it's been a long road. And you've been feeling all alone. So I'm just hoping that you find peace and find your way back home. Cause I think about you often, having nightmares of you laying in a coffin. I know it's been a while since we last spoke, and it's hard cause the fact is we was mad.
The following story deals with the agonizing subject of peer suicide. You'll see how timely intervention could prevent a tragic outcome. Think about what you might do in a similar situation as you watch. Later in the reality check segment, you'll get some advice to help you know how to respond to this difficult situation.
Hey, Rick.
Maria, what's up?
I have something for you. So these are all my notes on this year's debate topics, and you're a much better debater than me.
Why are you giving this to me? You spent forever gathering all this stuff.
To say thanks for having been a good friend.
Look, I know it's been tough for you recently, and I'm kind of worried about you.
Well, I'm just a little tired, that's all.
I also saw you crying in the hallways.
I was just messed up. I'm fine, really.
You know it's hard for me to watch you go through this. If you need any help,
This will all be over with soon.
What will all be over with?
Nothing. Just, you know, life junk. My little secrets.
Look, this is awkward, but if you're planning to hurt yourself, that's a secret I can't keep. You need to talk to someone. I want you to promise me that if you're ever planning on doing something like that, that you'll call suicide hotline or 911 or someone and tell them, please.
I was just joking. I'm fine. My mom's gonna be here in about 5 minutes. I gotta go.
This is not about me.
This doesn't have anything to do with her. Do you have any idea how hard it is for a student to be ripped up in the middle of high school and start over?
She wouldn't be the first one.
Oh, but no, it's all about you and what you want. There's obviously something else here. You have this crazy idea that she needs to come and live with you when she obviously needs her mother. Maria, tell him you want to stay with your friends.
Is this what you want?
I don't know. How can you ask me to choose?
This is the 4th assignment you failed to turn in. I'm concerned you're going to fail for this semester.
I know. I'll get them done.
This semester ends in a week. Don't know if you're going to have enough time to catch up. What's going on?
I know. You said I wasn't going to pass English if I don't get all the assignments done, so I'll just have to do them.
We need to discuss your college scholarship application. I was looking over your transcripts, and with these grades, I'm not sure there's any point. Your SAT scores weren't that strong, and Miss Mitchell tells me you're going to fail English.
I don't understand. I'm applying for an athletic scholarship? Why are my grades even an issue?
Doesn't matter what kind of scholarship it is. Even athletes have to maintain academic standards for colleges to be interested.
But Miss West, I have to have this scholarship. I need to go to college.
Girls, that's enough. Hit the showers. Maria?
What's up, Coach?
Hey, I just found out you failed English this semester. I assume you knew that.
Yeah. Well, between basketball and debate club, I got a little overwhelmed.
Maria, here's the deal. The school district has a strict no pass, no play policy. You can't participate in any athletic program while you're failing a core subject. I'm afraid I'm going to have to suspend you from play until you get that grade up.
Starting when?
now, unfortunately.
But college scouts are coming to see me at the tournament this weekend.
I know. I'm so sorry. I have no choice.
What are you so upset about this time?
Well, you know, all the stuff with school and parents and just all of it.
Look, I know you've been having a hard time, okay? I want to help you, but there's only so much support I can give you right now. I've been struggling too. I think we should stop seeing each other for a while until things get better.
But I don't want to be on my own.
You aren't on your own. I just can't do this anymore. If you want, I'll walk you to the nurse's office right now.
No, it's okay. I'll go later.
You're going to fail.
I'm always the one here for her.
I have to get out of this house.
And with these grades, I'm not sure there's any point.
I think we should stop seeing each other.
Come on, get that grade up.
Suicide Prevention Hotline, how can I help you?
I'm really worried about a friend who I think might hurt themselves. I just needed to talk to somebody about it.
Okay, tell me what's going on.
My friend Maria, she's super depressed.
Can you tell me your name?
Rick.
What makes you think this about Maria, Rick?
She's gone through a lot lately. She's so sad, and her parents just got divorced, and she's struggling in school. I've seen her crying in the hallways. Today she gave me something weird.
And what was that?
She's my debate partner, and she's been preparing all these research cards for this year's debate. And she spent months gathering the research, and today she told me she wanted them to have them. I mean, she's the best debater on the team, and she just gave them to me. I'm really worried about her.
Rick, you are being the best friend you can be to Maria by calling. It's obvious she's going through a lot and needs some help. And I'm going to see to it she gets that help right away.
I just feel so badly that I couldn't do anything.
What you have to understand is this is Maria's problem. You're not expected to save your friends, just to help them get the assistance they need, and you've done that by getting in touch with us. But I want to make sure you understand that the decision to deal with this problem is in Maria's hands, and you can't be held responsible for the outcome.
I understand. I just really care about her. We've been friends since freshman year.
And you've done what a good friend does.
Do you think she'll be okay?
Well, this isn't a problem that will take care of itself overnight. You can't just flip a switch inside yourself and make everything all right. It took some time for Maria to get to this point, and it's going to take more time for her to get back on track. Your calling is the first step.
I'm just afraid that she might be planning to do something, maybe even this afternoon.
Do you have an address or phone number for her parents? I want to talk to them immediately, and I want to talk to Maria.
Yes, I'll get that. Hang on a second.
Maria's situation and Rick's struggle to know what to do to help her are not as unusual as you might think. There are no simple answers, but there are a few things the experts agree on. When a friend talks about ending their own life or gives other signs they're thinking about hurting themselves, you have to take it seriously. Taking action is vital when the stakes are life and death. We know that girls are more likely to talk about suicidal thoughts than boys, so there's more chance for intervention. But in either case, don't shrug off a loss of interest in life. A growing sense of one's worthlessness can be just as much a sign of a real problem as talking about killing oneself. And if you were the one with these thoughts or feelings, don't try to deal with them alone. Talk to a good friend or seek out a trusted adult, like a parent or other family member, a doctor, teacher, or a faith leader, or any responsible adult you know when you can't see a way out of your problems. People care. Let them. From Rick's point of view, his friend's deep depression was more than he could deal with alone, and he knew it. For Dave, his own troubles kept him from helping Maria directly, but he also tried to get her to seek help and offered to walk her there. It's like first aid. Sometimes people know CPR and can do a lot. Other times, their best effort is to involve professionals. Know your limits, but do what you can. Both of Maria's friends chose to turn to a trusted adult, and encourage their troubled friend to do so too. There's one more thing you can do immediately in a situation like Maria's or Rick's. Call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-TALK, 1-800-273-TALK. In addition, you can reach a crisis counselor by texting 988 or HOME to 741-741. You can also chat online at 988lifeline.org. Some people might be reluctant to call a hotline or need help faster. If you can't call the suicide hotline, go to the emergency department at a hospital or call 911. Suicide is forever. If you're thinking taking your own life is the solution, please talk immediately to someone you trust. And if you have a friend who's showing signs of hurting themselves, take action right away to get them help. You could save someone's life.
After you view it of, we are some of those people, that you can come to us with this and we will do everything we can to help you.
But
So,
all the things that they went through were the same signs that I saw prior.
yeah. And I mean, the other piece of, yes, we do know that females are a lot more likely to express feelings than males, just kind of hitting that to home. This is a heavily male program. They won't talk about it. So, being able to recognize some of these signs, and like Jason said, and I mean, I think, my son has been involved with some who had the same, and, I don't want to say it was obvious, there were signs of it. That didn't happen, but anyway, so then, there's questions, just for things you can bring up to talk about, to help the young people you're showing this to. We don't have to go through them, but, there's a number of questions to help you, do a review of it. We don't have to go through those, but then a bunch more points of just, things to look for, suggestions that you can offer. So, you're rehashing, redelivering the same message, but from somebody they know for, all the same things. What can you do? And I mean, the getting that not only this is for us, this is training them to recognize this in their friends, because they're going to have the best chance to do it. So, the message, I think, from the counselor, if we can reinforce the message to, the ones we're trying to train to recognize this of, it won't be your fault. You can only do what you can do.
You can only do what you can do. That's right.
Do your best, but you can't get to the square that you blame it on yourself, or you're headed down this road. So, there's a lot of, so that, that's pretty straightforward. There's some, like I said, some of these things, I've got some other graphic stuff that might make this more sense. It'll just give a different view on this. I know a few of us have a dedicated meeting space. We might want to consider posting some of this stuff. You know, and just the smallest thing of, you know, that one slide at the end, you know, here are 3 resources.
Yeah.
You know, just if that's, you know, a sign.
It's not long, it's not arduous, it gets to the point.
Right, you know, it's just a look, if you need help, here's some resources. You know, maybe that's something we can supply.
But even y'all just reading over the warning signs for certain suicidal intentions is,
you know, we've come from here to here.
Right.
We can do a ton of things to get to here. You know, should we, you know, should this become part of the winter camp program? Maybe. What you think, Mike?
I say definitely, and here's a reason why. The Columbine, they did an interview with the mother of a Columbine shooter about a year after the event, and she actually had said that if she bring her child's social media and things like that, they were actually. And so, as parents, my wife and I put an app on our kid's phone called Bark, and it flags certain conversations. Last year, we had it flagged a conversation that my son was having with some of his friends on social media, and we brought him into the room. This was an active; it was going on as we were looking at it. Come to find out, there was one of his friends was thinking suicide, and my son had knowledge and experience, you know, knew how to tell the signs, and we ended up having to call the police based off of what we saw
and
on those text messages. That video is dead on.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Anybody that's dealt with this,
and I think you hit on a point that I think, you know, we talk about, yes, we take it seriously. And I think every one of us would say we take it seriously. Are you taking it seriously enough to call the police? You know, that's a really tough thing to do of, you know, maybe the parents don't know anything about it. You know, the police show up at their house, you know, that's something very intense to put someone through.
And a kid doesn't have the fortitude to make that call a lot of times. So they may not even know. And that video speaks at their level.
Right.
And I mean, in the military, we go through a lot of suicide prevention training, post-traumatic stress disorders and stuff like that. But the kids can relate to this.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think it's a great video. There's some things in here as adults. There's some ways we can expand it. So, you know, you know, should we throw it in some of our longer term programs? You know, wow, Peter's safety moment, you know, I mean, but, you know, seriously, that might be a perfect thing. You know, we're supposed to do the safety moment, right? Every day, and that's at all scouting functions now, right?
I mean, it's impossible to measure the statistics of the results of training the kids on this, because that would be the kids communicating that. But I can almost guarantee you, with the conversations these kids have on social media, the 1 or 2 scouts that may, you know, are part of a friend group that overhears these conversations will at least have the basic bare minimum where they can make a difference.
Yeah, you know, that
video should.
All they got to do is say something. You know, and yeah, we can help them with. You don't have to make that decision to call the police,
right?
Or call their parents or anything like that.
Just your parents
bring
about
it
your friend.
to someone's attention that you can trust. Well, that should be everybody in this room. We should have that relationship with our scouts. And I think we can do all that. And just, you know, delivering that, you know, 30-second, if you recognize a few of these signs, come talk to us. You know, if you want more information, come by. If 4 or 5 of you get together and agree you want to, you know, set aside, you know, a lunch break that we'll go through some of this, we can do all of those things. And it would probably be good for us to integrate in. If we talk about
And,
on a lot
and
of
boys are not going to talk
Right.
about it. But you have to be aware of the things going on in the child's life. That's not normal.
I'll tell you this much: those kids talk to one another.
They do, and I mean,
They're not going to talk to adults.
No, they won't talk to.
though,
So if you have the child talk to an adult that they trust, that they're
see that's the
That's what
exact
I need to do.
that's the exact example I was going to give. I had a set of two young men at NYLT this year that blew me away. We're used to the homesick problem a couple days in and summer camps and all this stuff, right? These two young men come to me after they've been there about 4 hours. And the reality is that they're very close friends. One of them was extremely uncomfortable with things that were happening. He talked to his friend. His friend said, "We're going to talk to adults right now." So his friend brings him over and says, "We have something we want to talk about." Sat down and let's sit down and talk about it right now. How can we help? Actually, the wording was basically, "We're leaving. Let's talk about this right now. Sit down. Let's talk about it." So the first guy sits down. He doesn't say a word after that. The other one starts talking. So, it's all these, you find the friend, the two of them together. One of them will give the other one the courage to do it. Hey, come on, I'm with you. We're going to do this. Same thing kind of with, the young ladies back in 2019. You shouldn't let that person treat you like that. Let's go talk to somebody about this. That's not acceptable. And, would this young lady have allowed that to continue? I'm pretty sure she would have. This other, couple-year-old young lady, no, this is not acceptable behavior toward you. You're worth more than that. You should not let people treat you like this. Come with me. Let's find the right person to talk to. They came to a couple of us. Okay, who's the right person to talk to? That particular situation, probably not me. So, okay, who's our best woman with the best, bedside manner to talk through this? And that's where we were. I know the whole story, but it didn't have to come from the young ladies. So they will talk to each other. They will band together. So, this is as much for training, training, recognize this in your friends and help them. So I think it's a great video. There's, the questions that we can deliver. So now it's up to us how we integrate this. Right. And there's 100 different ways. And I think if it's in our minds, we can think about doing this, And
the reality is we just really wanted it to be in your minds and to be
right.
You just be aware.
There's no forcing. Just the resources are here. This seems like a really good plan. There was a couple of years ago in our troop, we took, we went on a trip. Thanksgiving. It was 6 or 7 hour drive. On the trip, we were able to do a few places. We did a citizenship in the Nation Merit Badge on the way there and on the way back. The historic sites, we stopped at places, but we figured out, okay, you as the adult not driving, we've got two adults. The passenger adult is going to cover these items. And then, okay, you got 3 hours. Then the next one is 3 hours. Okay, we're going to swap kids and teach the same thing to the other set. And we did that like 4 times. But what that allowed us to do was, that merit badge has questions in there where you can talk about civic and, life and school and interest. So, can you have something like this conversation on the way to a camp out? Yeah, you can. So lots of opportunities for us to keep some of this in mind, all the way from just a simple question to more formal presentations, do it in an organized manner. Maybe we should do it, at merit badge days and winter camps. I think we think about that and have, those groups look at, does this make sense? You incorporate a few things in a second. I mean, that's simple. We need the topics to talk about anyway, so you've got to do one every day. Hey, if anybody's feeling overwhelmed and they're so much happier being here this week because they're not in school, then come talk to us. Maybe we can help you with that. Right?
Yeah, I got a question. I mean, I think they cover this in school. Would the training be better directed towards the adult leaders versus the actual scouts?
Zero argument with that. My first response is our troop, half of our troop is homeschooled. So, all of these are great ideas. So, yes, do I love doing the adults? Yes. Do I love doing the kids? Yes. Do we do them together? I'm not sure that's a great answer. Do we, in whatever group that we're doing this, should we find the right trusted adult to deliver it to the youth? And the adult might be a completely different conversation. That might be closer to what you're thinking, Ron. Those are great ideas. We ask these questions.
I think if you do it as a safety minute at camp, I'm going to say that 75 to 90% of all of them are just going to not listen. Most of it. I mean, as an adult, I bet you can.
I will take.
Well, what I'm saying is
I will take 20% hearing.
You might be wasting the opportunity.
You might be.
Because, pick on Peter. Peter's standing up doing it. They don't have that connection to Peter. They're not going to listen.
And look, I'm not talking about a serious thing. I'm talking, if something very simple, some simple wording, again, maybe that message you're delivering to the adults at some time, and, you've got 50 adults at summer camp, okay, on summer camp, you typically have an adult meeting, right? Somewhere along the way, you have a Scoutmaster recognition. Do you do it there and say, hey, can you, keep an eye out for this? Yes, you can do that.
We watch a 5-minute video.
Right, so I think, and the video might not be the right answer for adults, but it's a good piece of training of, watch this video, you might want to take this back. So these are all great answers. That's why it's a perfect roundtable topic. When can we apply this? How do we keep it in mind? What can we do? When does it make sense? When are we likely to be affected? Do you do this at a court of honor? No. Do you do it at merit badge day? I'm almost a firm no. But maybe you have an adult class at merit badge day on recognizing youth, troubles, issues, dealing with handicap, any of these things. Should we do that as an adult program? Maybe we should. Take it a little bit more not take it more seriously, but expand on it some. I reached out to, found some mental health place on the internet locally that says, we do this with adolescents. Okay, would you come talk to us? Right. So, do we find somebody with that and we really turn it into an hour-long merit badge day session? Maybe we should.
And, I was thinking about even taking it further and, maybe getting together with some therapists that I know and pursuing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things.
Mental health is a big issue.
It's
mean, for everybody, for adults, for
Right, I
kids,
mean, that's the other point, you know, can we provide a good environment to do this for adults? I think we probably can. Should we? Maybe we should. So, you know, I mean, what's our core purpose here? Does this fit within it? Probably. Okay, how can we use it? So that's it. It's a doorway. You know, let's use it. Let's go through it when we can. Use it when it makes sense. Try to think of times we can. And look, even if it's like Jason said, like Mike said, even if this never becomes a public thing, the 20 of us having it cemented back in our brain is worth the time. You know what? If the 20 of us are just slightly more inclined,
or just more aware,
are aware to recognize it, and maybe we mention it to another adult.
hey, check out this video.
You know, check this out. Look at this. Hey, what do you think? You know, it's all good. It's nothing but good to be considerate and try to spread this. Anybody got any other thoughts?
Well, the biggest thing, Doc Freeman is, for the council, he's looking into this stuff.
Yeah.
So he's trying to put together a committee. So I think, like I said, it's a start. So,
you know, if you're interested in being on it, we now know who to join.
Right.
If you know someone who might, you know, let's send them to Dr. Will.
Because I think one of the things about it, just like us, I think we just come up with what we're going to deliver. Because, you know, I know it don't matter if it's 100 kids. If they don't listen, maybe one or two need to hear it.
Right.
So
you know, I mean, really,
spread it. You know,
I'll take my odds that 99% ignore me. That is.
But somebody needs to.
That is a huge win.
Right. Need to hear it. You know.
You know, I mean, that's like I said. You
know,
know,
someone.
I mentioned a few years ago.
Like just being aware.
Right.
My son was the friend who was. These young people listening to someone else that needed to hear it. If we have to say it 50 times to 100 kids for one to hear it once, we want it.
Oh, you got it.
You know, there's no question about it. But Rob, I mean, you're absolutely right. Deliver the right message at the right time to the right people. And, you know, so let's just figure out how to do that.
There's two different safety moments on this academy's website. One's youth suicide prevention and one is depression.
Okay, so it's already
there and it's meant to be said in 5 minutes or less.
So there we go. Didn't know that. Now, okay, someone's done the work for us. We don't have to. Yeah, let's make that one of our 50 minutes. It all helps. And then there's another one about the Scouts. Okay.
Yep.
I think I knew about that. But right, you know, we think about like, oh man, how am I going to come up with a safety minute? They're already written. Here they are. You know, there's 20 of them written. All we got to do is, you know, print them out and put them in the Scoutmaster book. You need a Scoutmaster minute. There's a book for that. You need a safety minute. There's another book for that. You might have to make it right now.
I think this one's written for the extramural council. It still applies to us.
Yeah. You know, anyway, I can discuss that forever. Obviously something I'm passionate about, and several of the other episodes.
It's already written.
All right, so what are some other topics you'd like to see in Roundtable, Jeff? Because obviously, you know, we do a lot of outdoor stuff, right?
I got a leader that needs to do something for his wood badge tickets. I'm trying to push him. I'll let you know.
Yeah, they can come up here and do what they need to do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, let let Jason know, let me know if they would like some help. You know, they don't quite know what to do.
He doesn't need any help, he just needs to.
He just needs to do it, yeah.
He needs to do it.
How about for Cubs? What kind of stuff would you like to see from Roundtable for Cubs?
Okay, that's okay.
That's fine.
That's okay. Just remember, anything comes to mind, you know, it's an open topic. It's available for discussion. You know, if it's a presentation, if it's a discussion, we can do all of that. Anything that might ever come up, you know, would it make sense? Just asking, would it make sense that, you know, we've got a council fan camp coming up? Would it make sense to have a what you should do on a camp out as a new Cub leader? We can do that. You know, what should be your packing list? Could we have that discussion? We can.
I'm kind of brainstorming an idea here. So at summer camps, a lot of times the kids are off doing their things and the parents are kind of sitting at the campsites. Does that typically happen at fan camp? It's been many years.
No, but, you know, keep in mind, the younger, the parents aren't ready to get rid of their kids yet when they're little.
So they're chopping.
At least most of them. So and, you know, several of these programs are, you know, you must. So my experience is, I mean, Rob, you've been to a lot more lately. My experience is Cub parents are with their kids.
I guess I should rephrase that. I know that they're there at camp; they're not at home.
No.
But it's something
they are,
that could be offered to the adults.
They are
last year,
on
you and I did the BB gun range. There were like more parents.
Yeah, they're on the activity. Right, they're at the activity with their kid, and I think if I'm running the BB range, if you send me 10 kids and 1 adult, I'm going to be very upset with you. You know, if you send me 10, 8-year-olds to the BB range, I'm going to be quite upset with you. So yeah, I think that's not a, now, just talking about visiting, can we go, or, that can be a commissioner question, Any topics you'd like to discuss on a larger basis, we can organize those.
Alrighty, y'all. I think this was a very constructive meeting. I like the roundtable topic. Thank you, Keith, for doing that. Just make us more aware of our surroundings.
Everybody want me to send the stuff I collected and the links to these? Interested in at least having them? What you do?
At least have the resources available just in case something comes.
Yep.
I'd be interested if Scoutmasters could actually poll their kids in the meetings, see how, raise a hand of how many.
Oh, they just want to go out there.
I'm serious. I'm curious.
They want to shoot back. Alrighty, y'all. Until next time, thank you. Feel free to reach out to us. Remember, we got the newsletter. We're still looking for topics from troops, what they're doing, how they're feeling, we'd like to get communication involved. Jeremy, Cub Scouts, just let us know what we can do to provide anything for you if you want. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, because we want this to be for everybody.